Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm sure a lot of you have been wearing masks lately and you're probably struggling to keep your makeup in place like I am. And some of you might even be struggling with mask acne as well because it can get so hot and stuffy underneath the mask. Recently I've been doing something different to my makeup routine and I hope this will help you, so watch on if you want to know more about it. To get started, I'll be using the INNISFREE green tea mist. This will give me a very hydrated base as well as a glow to the makeup. Make sure this is fully dry before moving on to base makeup because you don't want your base makeup to slide and create a patchy overall look. Next up, I'm going to be moving on to a concealer. With this look, I'll be using concealer as my only base makeup because I don't want to wear foundation. Here, I'll be using my trusty SAEM tip concealer in the shade 1.5. As you can see here, I'll be using the Real Techniques Mini Miracle Sponge, but you can use any beauty sponge or beauty blender that you wish, or you can just use your hands, but make sure they're nice and clean before touching your face. The reason why I'm only using a concealer because I don't want to make my skin really stuffy, especially in this hot weather and when wearing a mask. This means that there'll be less product remaining on the skin and your pores won't be as clogged, so there'll be less chances of acne. Blend everything out with your sponge or fingers, but make sure you leave the bottom half of your face since it will be covered by your mask anyway. If you want more coverage in certain areas, then just apply more product to that area. I want a little more coverage under my eyes, so I'll be using a bit more product near that area. And blend everything out again with your sponge, making sure everything is even. Next up will be setting my face. Here I'll be using the INNISFREE No Sebum Mineral Powder. This has been my favourite powder products for many years because it literally leaves your face really matte and really helps control the sebum throughout the day. This powder can also give you a very nice poreless overall finish as well. If you wish to keep some areas more dewy, then just skip that area, but make sure you are setting the areas where your mask will touch. If you start to become a bit more shiny throughout the day, then just apply this on top. Reapplication would not make your makeup cakey with this powder. If you end up with too much powder on your face, just grab a brush and brush it off lightly. Next up, I'll be moving on to brows. Here I'm using the Kiss Me Heavy Rotation Brow and Nose Powder. This powder will help filling your brows very lightly and give you an illusion of a thicker brow. Today I'll be focusing on my eyes more because wearing a mask will cover the rest of my face, so I won't need to care for those parts as much. If you wish to go more natural, then just skip this part. I like to apply the lightest colour near the front of the brow and darker colours near the end to create a more natural brow effect. Then I'll move on to a brow pencil. Here I'll be using the NYX Micro Brow Pencil in shade Ash Brown. This brow product is actually very similar to the Benefit one and it could actually be a dupe if you manage to find a shade that's for you. I'll be using this product more for the second half of the brows to create a more defined brow. I love how easy it is to use this product and it's quite long lasting too. If it starts to look patchy, just use the brush at the back of the pencil to even it all out. I would also be using a brow gel so everything can look even more defined. Here I'm picking up the Glossier Boy Brow in brown. This is probably the best brow gel I've used because it can actually make my hair stand up all day long. Just brush it on normally and focusing it more on the front of the brows. I like the front to go more upwards and the tail of the brow to go according to the natural shape more. Next up is priming my eyes. This is quite an important step if you don't want that crease line to show. Here I'm using the Etude House Proof 10 Eye Primer. This product is not as long lasting as the MAC primer that I normally use, but it will happily help your eye makeup to stay for half the day. The pigmentation of eyeshadows won't be enhanced as much as the MAC one, but it will still help. If I'm looking for a more natural look, I usually go for this primer instead, since it doesn't feel as heavy. Make sure you blend everything out evenly to avoid any patchiness. I'm gonna go in with the same brow and nose powder from Kiss Me for the eyeshadow. I'll be using the lightest shade all over the eyes just to darken the eyelids a little. Then I'll curl my eyelashes with my Shiseido eyelash curler. I've had this eyelash curler for years because it just fits the contour of my eyes perfectly. Next up will be mascara. Here I'm using another Kiss Me product. It's the Heroine Make Mascara in the long and curl version. I have pretty fine eyelashes and this mascara has helped it stay curled all day long, and I haven't found any other mascara that does the same thing. I would use this mascara on my upper lashes and my lower lashes. After application, this mascara can totally transform my eyes. You would want to make sure you don't have too much product on the brush before brushing it onto eyelashes, otherwise it will look too clumpy. Then moving on to cheeks, I'll be using this Larizzi Dew Pot in shade Utopia. I actually received this product in a glossy box, and I love how it can give me a very healthy glow as well as some colour. It is basically a blush and a highlighter in one. If you are after a natural look, this is totally a blush that you should go for. I'll be using my fingers to dab the product onto my cheeks and blend it out with a sponge to soften it a little. As you can see, it creates such a nice and healthy glow. If you want more of that tan look, just apply some products onto the nose bridge. I won't be worrying too much about the lips, but I still want it to stay hydrated and moisturized, so I'm just using the Carmex Moisture Plus lip balm here. This lip balm does have a little bit of colour, so it can make my lips look healthier. Last but not least, make sure you set everything with a good fixer. You would want your makeup to last under the humidity and to minimize the transfer. Here I'll be using the Urban Decay All Nighter. This is such a good and OG fixer, and it will also help my makeup stay on all day. So I hope that this was informative and can help your struggles a little. If you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe and like this video. Until next time, bye!